everybody, this is T with Kate's Crafty Closet with another tag in my Halloween 2020 tag series. So let's go ahead and show you what we're going to be making today. So here is our tag. It's got a little mummy and some gauze going on in here. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with, of course, as usual, a distress tag. Just because it holds really mediums different well, we're going to use water and stuff like that. So perfect. Today we're using two different oxides. We're using ice spruce and hickory smoke. Ice spruce is more of a blue gray. And I'm okay with that. So I had to re-ink for the first time ever my ink pads this morning. First time ever. So I'm just going to add that ice spruce. I'm going to do around the whole tag with this one. And then we'll come back and blend the two together when we're done. Okay? It's like, I think most of these years I really haven't had much time to do a lot of Halloween projects. And this is the first time I'm ever doing like Halloween tags. So I'm actually kind of enjoying myself. Trying not to make this camera or table shake on you all too much. I know it's going to shake a little bit. Remember, these are oxides, so if you see marks, easy to blend them out. Super simple, easy to blend out. So don't stress those out. Okay, so we have that down. Then we'll come in with the hickory smoke and just go around the outside edges. And then we'll come in with the blue spruce again and kind of get those to blend. Like, you don't see a huge difference in these colors, but there is. You see it in the light. You'll see how on the other tab you can see that center part. It's definitely got that blue, smoky blue going on, and the hickory smoke just kind of balances it out. It's like, but yeah, don't take your time blending. Have fun with it. Enjoy. Like for these videos, it's just I go fast, just so we don't have to spend a 50-minute video just me ink blending. Okay, so we go back in with that blue spruce and just go back into the center part with that blue spruce. Okay. Then I'll do another quick, sorry about that noise, on the edge up here with the hickory smoke. So we've got that. Can move that. We'll spray on the side. This is that water bottle I use. It's just from the Dollar Tree. Any kind of mister or sprayer will definitely work. So I'm just going to go in and clean this up. You can really take another tag and sop up that ink and use it later on. Okay, so now we got that. Then we're going to come back in and we'll heat set our tag so we can continue to work. Always try to hold it up so the heat can pass through and they dry quicker. And those spot right there. Okay, so there we go. Perfect. So next we're going to come in with that stamp set from Stampendous. Okay, looks like Crackle. So we're going to go ahead and ink that up with some VersaFine Claire Nocturne. Okay. Actually, before I do that, I forgot because I did this after the fact and I realized I want to do it before it. We're going to spray a little bit of Distressoxide spray hickory smoke to make sure you leave the cap on. And we're just going, I'm trying to do bigger drops. I don't want like small splatter, but it's probably what's going to happen. But I just get closer and I'm going to do that. And then I'll just dab up a little bit of that, and just to give it a little bit more opacity. And we can squirt that with water again if we want to, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to finish it up with this microfiber cloth. Another thing that I use today, if I have it in the store, I will go ahead and link it in the description box below. And make sure Halloween stuff is 25% off in the Halloween category using code Halloween25. Also, we have the pre-order up for the new Distress ink, which will be releasing on 11/10. So make sure you also subscribe to the newsletter where you get some cool discount codes along the way. So let's just go ahead and squirt one more time and then dry. If you don't have a water bottle, you can just put it in your hand and just fling it if you want to. Okay. Go in the back real quick. Perfect. And then we're going to come in with that stamp set again, and we're going to just stamp. Like I'm going to go here. Okay. And then I'm going to ink it up again because I want a pretty good image. Like this has become one of my favorite. I'm going to go the opposite way with the stamp. Like one of my favorite stamps to use. Great mixed media stamp and great art journaling. And you can see it does great for background. So I'm going to go last little bit up there at the top. Okay. I'm going to put that stamp set aside. Then we're going to grab this ink pad and I'm just going to drag a little bit across the edges, and we're going to go around the whole tag. Do that just to give it like a worn look. And you can choose to do this any way you like, and any ink pad you have. And you see, if you want it a little bit even, you can just go back and grab it and pull. So there we go, perfect. All right, so next thing I went ahead and did, I used a stamp set from Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. This one is it's called Monstrous. That's CMS 307. And I stamped the mummy onto some mixed media cardstock from Ranger. And I went ahead and I watercolored it. If you watched the video from yesterday, if you haven't, I'll link it to the description box below, how I do my watercoloring with the Distress inks. And with this one, like to get in this space in here that was a light gray, just take a clean brush, a little bit of water, and paint, and you'll get a light gray into the center of those. And I just used some antique linen for the mouth area because I didn't want it to be any other color, and I just popped up some foam squares on the back. All right, and the next thing I went to do, I had some gauze that I went ahead, and the leftover ink that I had from coloring the mummy, I just went ahead and drug that gauze through it to get it to look like that. And then I actually heat set it a little bit, and I do that. That's how you get this little crinkling going on, that it, you know, it absorbed the water and it dries and it shrunk up. So that was kind of cool. I didn't think it was going to do that, but it did. But I'm glad that I went ahead and tried it. So next time if I do something like this with some gauze and stuff like that, I will definitely do that again. So let's go ahead, and this is the gauze we're going to put down here at the bottom. And what I did, just because it's quicker, I have some really strong double-sided tape. I'm just putting a strip down of it. You can put some mixed media gel or collage medium if you want, and later a little bit we'll use actually just some regular, you know, art glitter glue for that. This just lets it easy set down, and I don't have to wait for it to dry. So I'm just going to go ahead and just put it on there. And to make your look a little worn, cut with some scissors, pull and all of that stuff. And this, I'm just going to bunch it up a little bit. And then we're going to pull off these foam squares off of the back of our mummy. And we're going to put Fred down. Yeah, I'm going to call him Fred. All right, if it holds off the side, that's all good. If you want to trim down the gauze, you can. This one I will trim a little bit. It's a little bit longer than I want. So you get that rough cut, that's what you want. And if you want to trim it down more, you can trim. You want to push it to the back, you can do that too. It's like this one, I'll trim a little bit so you can kind of see the mummy a little bit more. So I'll just trim that off. And I did cranky cut this mummy out. That's why I went ahead and did it beforehand, because we don't need to spend an hour watching Tony cranky cut, because yeah, that struggle is real. All right, so we have that done. Then we're going to go ahead and I cut another strip of that same gauze. This is a little bit smaller than I wanted for my tag topper, but that's okay. We'll make it work. I'll make it work, because I can always go back and, you know, make another one, make it longer. But I already had this left over from before, and I was like, didn't really have the time to make any more of that gauze. I'm trying to get this to go through. It's not cooperating, but I'll use this end of this paintbrush because it looks like it'll be a little bit easier and won't pierce the gauze. Perfect. And then do the other side and push it through and realize, nope, you know what, we're just going to do it this way because it's a little bit shorter than I anticipated. So we'll just tie it like that. We'll have one short and one long, but that's okay. But see how it's like a little raggedy up there? I like that. Then I have another piece of gauze that was sitting right next to me. There it was, sitting right next to me. And of course, you know, as always, everything decides to jump ship. But you see how I added that little piece up there. So with some regular glue. Here we have a tiny piece, which this doesn't matter. So let's just unravel this and kind of like it when it's a little bit smaller anyway, like that. So we're perfect. Going to grab that art glitter glue, and I know I want to put it right up in this area, and I'll do it like that. And you'll be able to see the glue a little bit at first, but that's okay. It doesn't take long for this glue to dry, and then once it dries, it's clear. So there we go. Perfect. And then we're going to use some of that Tim Holtz Idea-Ology label tape for Halloween, and we're just going to go ahead and put those little sentiments down and not let it go flying like that. I'm just going to place them on there. Okay. And then last but not least, the 31. And that finishes our tag for today. Super simple, super easy. The longest thing took me was cranky cutting. And it's a little jagged and stuff because I'm not good at cranky cutting. I'm not even going to pretend that I am. But for this case, the jagged actually works because a mummy doesn't have perfect gauze wrappings hanging off of its corpse. So I want to thank you all for joining me. Make sure you check out all the social media links down below. Go ahead and join our Facebook group where we're going to start be doing lives again, and we're going to have daily interactivity with questions and posting projects, and you're always free to ask questions, share what you're working on, ask opinions and stuff like that. It's a very cordial group, very friendly and very helpful at the same time. Make sure you check out CatesCraftyCloset.com, which I'll link all that stuff in the description box below. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. I want to thank you all for joining me, and have a crafty day, y'all, and a spooktacular Halloween.